What's up, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. We're going to get into Litecoin today. We haven't really broken down Litecoin, so that's what we're going to dig into. Real quick, guys, I wanted to just remind you, today is the last day of the month for our specials. These specials aren't going to be set up like this after this month. This is kind of a one-time deal on these specials. As far as what's included, we decided to knock it down a whole bunch. Again, you can do our crypto / binary / signal / room, and that's $2.99 with a little monthly charge there. Or you can get annual with $5.99 and get everything, even our DTMM software for like the ETF stock and option side. Again, these are like way marked down. Just on the binary option side, if you were to get just the binary options, never mind the crypto setups, never mind the DTMM signal, you're going to get the Crypto Express. Just the binary options out of that would pay for this because of the hit rate that we have on those. So really good deal. We just thought we would, really give it away for this month since, summertime special. All right. So with that being said, let's dig into this Litecoin chart.
Trade Genius.
Okay, so Litecoin, guys, basically what I have here in this other, we have an overlay. So the candlesticks here are Litecoin. This other chart here with the high-low close bars is Bitcoin. And as you can see, they're basically just handcuffed. I mean, the charts are almost identical. And so this is the Litecoin USD cross, right? So eventually, as these things go up, Litecoin will increase in a higher percentage. So if you're holding Litecoin BTC, you're going to see higher gains when these things take off. But right now, until we start seeing a sustained move higher, you're going to kind of see, as far as Litecoin dollar and Bitcoin dollar price action, they're going to be pretty same. But you are going to get these surges, as we've seen in the past with Litecoin, that they'll outpace the Bitcoin gains. It's par for the course, and it's just a matter of when they happen. As you can see, we're way overdue. We probably should have seen one timing-wise back here in July, and it just didn't really transpire. But they're fast rips, and you just have to take profit on them when they happen, because all pops in Litecoin do not last. That's just the memo or the script that it's been telegraphed to the market. They don't last. So you're going to always want to trail up your stops when that happens. And so in this case here, what we have is we're just basing here at this fib extension. So technically this fib extension played out where we moved down, moved back up, got into that fib retrace zone, and that completely played out right to our 236 extension. So that range is done. And the other range, which we would be looking at this point now, is, we'll draw this up here real quick. So we're going to take this high here down, and we're going to just draw this red. Okay, so this is the current extension down to this 46.49 level. Now we have to zoom way out, and then we can kind of see the volume profile as far as that's, obviously in that area, that extension is our highest concentration. That's where our volume node is, right? If we go back in time. And so, obviously, if you're able to pick some up at that level, that's a pretty good score. But that would have to indicate also that Bitcoin has not put in its lows for the year, and we have another cycle down. If you remember the video from the other day, I said that if the current correlation with 2014, 2015 is 4 times as faster, we're either at a crossroads where we do see another leg down, but then that's it, and then we go higher, and then that's it for the pullback in the bottom for this cycle after a blow off top. So it is possible that we could approach down. Now, looking structurally at price, we have a descending wedge that we broke out of. I love descending wedges. I love ascending wedges because they're really money when it comes to cryptos. And this one broke out, but just kind of went sideways. It had a nice lift off here, and I thought, well, we probably tagged the backside of these trend lines, but not hasn't really materialized. The low risk, high reward trade actually would be to get long in here, but you're really not going to want to keep your stop much lower than maybe $71 or so. And the reason for that is because we're going to break down. You can see the volume here. We'd have to kind of, you see that there's another volume node in this area here. So you're looking at this level down here of, it could be anywhere in this level area here of $60, let's say. That's probably a safe area, but that's a considerable amount to move down if we lose this level, and that's likely what will happen. So you can see this little volume node here. It's a little more visible on that range. But if we did do that, what I'm looking at is we actually do have would be like the formation of another descending wedge. Like as with Bitcoin, we have this upper trend line. However, Litecoin hasn't structurally broken it like Bitcoin has. So Bitcoin's looking a little stronger technically. But we do have basically a situation where we may get into another descending wedge. And if we do that, that's going to be pretty bullish. What I'm going to say on this here is that if we do eke out a new low and RSI cannot make a lower low from back here, so in other words, this area here that I'm drawing on, which is around that $70 level. Okay, so this is the RSI low there. If we make a lower low down to this level here and RSI can't eke out a new low, that's going to be a bullish divergence, and that's probably going to be worth taking a stab. So you can take a stab here with a fairly tight stop, or wait and get down here, or you could ladder in. But I think the risk here would be to get down to this level here around the $65 mark, and then get a bullish divergence, and then make another push back. And you're going to run into some resistance, around this mark here at approximately $74, $75, because that was now going to be resistance. But if we get into a strong move up and Bitcoin does break into closer to the 9,000s, that should penetrate back above it. Then it's going to be an issue of breaking back above about $90, because that was another key support and resistance level, and then getting it back above this trend line to the long side. So that's kind of the play I'd be looking at here. You also have to keep in mind that we're looking at the bring up the chart here of the alt market, and in the room we actually have entered long on Ethereum. We wanted to get in a little above this trend line, but this is kind of marking what historically has been bounce points on the entire alt market, and we're there. All right, we could have a little more downside, but we're more or less there. And in fact, that might, that could have been the spike low on Ethereum. We're putting in a fairly decent daily hammer. So interesting there. We are long on that, and we'll look to see how that plays out. But if this doesn't get any steam and it does close below this trend line, that's probably going to possibly spell out a longer term trend down. And then we'd probably be looking at something happening in Q4 for a majority of these alts to cycle up, and that will affect Litecoin BTC ratio, not so much Litecoin USD ratio. Litecoin USD, Ethereum USD are very similar in moves to Bitcoin. All right, so that's basically the outlook there on Litecoin. So to recap, short term, you could take a stab here with a slight risk reward, or you can ladder in all the way down to about this $64 level and look for a bullish divergence on the RSI. And then I think there's a probability for a bounce there. The other thing to keep in mind, though, is that Litecoin, when it does go, guys, and I believe we will have another spurt like we saw here, it's going to be pretty fast. You're going to be waiting for a pullback, and you're just not going to get it. And that's typically a bullish sign that it's off to the races. So like you'll get a move up, and you're like, oh, I'll catch a pullback, and it doesn't really pull back, and then it just surges higher again. And this is the stuff that you want to trail your stop behind. People get lulled into thinking, oh, it's going to go back to higher highs, and that doesn't happen. But just keep that in mind when this does occur again, to be trailing up your stops. You can trail them on the daily bars, that's fine. No one's ever going to catch the absolute top or absolute bottom unless you're just lucky. And a lot of times that's just because you've been laddering in on different levels to do that. All right, guys, well, that's it. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.
trade genius.